So the next project I'm going to tackle is build some entry stairs right here. We've been using this ladder since we built this, and we're both very tired of using the ladder because it is a hassle. So before I get to the stove and the chimney, I'm going to build some entry stairs. Now the problem with these 2x12s is that often the ends are split, which means you can't use them for stringers because they're no longer strong enough. So you got to cut it back, which is why I've bought 12 footers instead of, say, 8 footers, maybe 10 footers. But yeah, just make sure that you always buy a little bit longer than you need. That way you can cut off the split ends and you won't get in trouble with your stringers. And then once you've cut a few stringers, you just use the cut one as a template, which makes your life a lot easier. And there it is, our brand new staircase. No more ladder to get into our cabin.
I am so happy because I've been jumping in, climbing in, like the pants, like the back of my pants are always like full of sand because I'm so short I can't step in it like you did. This is fantastic. This is amazing. I am super happy.
Yay! A new day and continuing the build of our cabin. With the front door installed, the next step is to foam up all the gaps between the window and the door. I did the door yesterday, and today I'm going to do that for all the windows. Good morning. It is Thursday, pretty miserable outside, very foggy. We had a couple of inches of snow last night, which turned to rain now. So it's good that yesterday I did the stairs because the weather was beautiful, not so much today. And I'm going to be spending my time indoors for now because I'm starting on the stove. And for that, I noticed that we'll have to move this stud here, just exactly one stud space. That way the stovepipe can fit through here and go outside up to the roof. So I'm going to start with moving this stud and framing in some horizontal supports for the thimble that goes through the wall, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, all done with the stud. It's in its new place, nice and solid. Now I can get started on the cross pieces. It's Saturday morning and I jumped 2 days forward since I installed this stud and the blocking. And that's because when I was figuring out on Thursday how to install the chimney, I noticed there was an important piece missing from the kit that was delivered. So we had to go back to town to the hardware store that delivered us the chimney kit. Turns out they did make a mistake, but they could overnight the missing piece for us, which they did. So we picked that up yesterday, Friday, and then we got home from town and we're too tired to still work. So today I'm going to continue that work. And because this morning it was raining really badly, it was switching between rain and snow and all that, and I have to get on the scaffolding outside to install the chimney. I was not sure if it was going to be feasible in that weather and safe to do it. So I started off doing some tying up loose ends in the cabin here. I cut off the remaining shims that were sticking out, and I moved these blocks up because at first I had them a little bit lower, and I noticed in the manual that we actually need less clearance from the ceiling, so I moved them up to keep as much stovepipe inside and then go through the wall outside, which I'm about to start now, and you'll see. So I'm up here on the scaffolding next to the roof, and here's a plan for what's going to happen. First, I need to install the fascia board onto the rafter tails or the rafter ends right here, so that I have a nailing or screwing surface for the chimney. That's going to come up about over here, and we have chosen to offset our chimney. So instead of going through the roof, we're going to avoid that and use an offset system with 245 angles, which brings the chimney next to the roof up here, where it's going to go 3 feet above the roof surface, and if needed we can always make it higher in the future, but for now we'll try that. So I need to put on the fascia board, and then I need to prepare the scaffolding, make some space clearance for the chimney to come through.
All of this is stovepipe. It's like a big puzzle. Don't you wish this was IKEA?
Oh man.
Apparently the manuals of anything related to this stove are an absolute nightmare with random sheets of paper stuffed in there. You have to buy some screws. Other screws are included, but not all of them. It's clearly not meant for consumers, but for professional stove installers who know all these things. The thing is heavy. That's why you need the screws?
Yeah.
Some parts screw, some parts don't screw, some parts do other things.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. He's making some extra space. The final pieces. Ta 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 ta. And that is the outside of the stovepipe. Maybe she missed you. Oh my god. She's so sweet.
She lost a lot of weight.
Oh no.
I'll get you some carrots.
Yes. Yeah, she lost a whole bunch of weight. Hello. Definitely Jane. It's not easy to be a deer in the caribou. It's a hard life.
Hi everyone. I am continuing the build of our chimney and hooking up the stove to it so that we can finally heat up the cabin. As you can see right here, I have finished the outside part of the chimney, and just before I cut away some tree branches that were a little too close for my liking, and I cleared the scaffolding where the chimney is so that there's nothing near the chimney pipe, and we are all safe to start heating up that stove. But first I'm going to install the inside part of the chimney, or the stovepipe. Very exciting that I'm finally at this stage where I am installing the inside part of our chimney. Once that's done, we can finally light the stove and start heating the cabin. Of course, the first few times will be a little tricky because we still need to, what's the word they were using, Tanya?
Curing.
Cure the stove, aka burn off the poisonous chemicals from the paint. But hey, it's a privilege, right? Perfect. Put down some cement board, fiber cement board, just to create a non-combustible barrier under the stove, and we've got a couple more of these panels that we'll put behind the stove against the wall, again for safety of the heat.
How do you call that thing? A plumb ball.
Yeah, keep it going. Perfect. Now, just lean against the wall. Yeah. Another thing to keep in mind is, and that was in the manual actually, make sure to remove the stickers off of your stovepipe, because once this gets hot, they will melt and probably be fuming and whatever poisonous stuff comes off.
Oh no. Oh, I see. Yay!
Looks like that's it. The stove is fully installed, ready to go. So now we're going to make a fire and see what happens and how it goes. Here we go.
Bigger pieces?
As you can see, the chimney is working perfectly. Getting a nice draft. Good suction on it. We finished installing the stove. We lit our first fire. It took off immediately. No quirks, nothing that was being strange or acting up. It went perfectly. So our chimney has a good pull on it, or a good draft. I don't know the technical term. We threw in some of the wood that I split last spring, which is pretty dry. It got wet during the winter with some snow, but we anticipated and put some inside here last time, and that seems to work perfectly. And it's getting nice and warm in here. Of course, we did have to open some windows for the paint fumes, but everything's going well.